I just don't see. I really don't see the problem with her photos.
Pascal.
We got another one in Africa. This is interesting too. In Egypt, a model is arrested for doing a photo shoot in front of pyramids. David, come on, speak on it.
So, this model, Egyptian model, Salma El-Shimy, was arrested on Monday over a photo session in Saqqara, which is an archaeological site outside of Giza. And she's a 26-year-old model. She's a dress model. And she was wearing an ancient Egyptian-style clothing. I don't know if you have the image up. So she's the government, the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, Mostafa Waziri, said that anyone who shows negligence when it comes to antiquities or our unique Egyptian civilization will be punished. And 2 of the ministry's employees and 4 security personnel who work at the location in Giza also referred to prosecutors for an actual investigation and possible charges over it. And Sabri Farag, the director of the Saqqara antiquity sites, has said that they have denied reports of additional people being arrested, that it's just El-Shimy at this point. And El-Shimy's photographer, Hossam Mohammed, had told local newspapers that they had an agreement with the staff. But that doesn't, if they had an agreement with the staff, it doesn't seem like the staff checked with the people that can actually authorize it. And so basically she showed up at the Pyramid of Djoser for around 15 minutes. And then once they found out, they arrested her, and they temporarily arrested her photographer. And right now they're still in the process of filing all the lawsuits and everything. And the prosecutor filed accusing El-Shimy of distorting the civilization and insulting the great pharaonic history. And part of Egypt's parliament called for her to face the severest punishment. So the government is very, very angry about it. Even if she did get approval at the lower level, no one at the higher level seems to be okay with it in the slightest. And they have a bail of, I think, 500, I think it's lira, which is about $32. Wow. I might have their currency wrong. I'm not entirely sure on that. But either way, they said that they ended up paying more for the fines so far than the actual shoot itself would have that the shoot itself cost them. And just 2 weeks ago, Saqqara was in the news for a discovery of 100 sealed coffins containing mummified bodies, which a lot of them were completely still sealed, which is really unusual in Egypt because tomb robbing has been common for at least 2,000 to 3,000 years. So it's a long tradition. But every now and then you find a bunch of sealed mummies like this. So Saqqara in Giza, near Giza, is one of the places of the most intense archaeological research in Egypt right now, specifically by Egyptians for their own Egyptian history.
You know, I don't understand why she's getting. I don't understand why she's getting in so much trouble. That's what I think. It doesn't make any sense for her to be in so much trouble for doing something if she got the authorization from somewhere else. Where's the wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how is she getting that? Like they're trying to, it's like they're trying to throw the book at her for just taking a very beautiful photo, by the way. It's a beautiful photo. I mean, obviously I didn't see any other photos on there. And if there's more, I would love to see them. I would love to see more, but it's not like she's defacing the pyramids. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she's doing anything. There's no vandalism or anything of that sort. It's not like she's doing something disrespectful. She's fully clothed. She's not, I mean, unless there's implied nudes or something else there, I don't know. From just that photo alone, it seems like it was a fairly standard photo shoot of just a model standing in front of some pyramids. So what did she do that would make them want to throw the book at her, you know, at the full extent of the law for just standing and taking some very pretty photos? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, David.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Egypt's like someone in chat said it, but Egypt has been very strict since the Arab Spring. Noble D said that, and their government has been much more authoritarian, you could say, or specifically in terms of imprisonments. They've been a lot stricter on people. But her photographer, I think he was a freelancer, not her permanent photographer, because he said he wouldn't have taken the job if he realized it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But he was the one that was paid $65. I'll just use American currency. He was paid about $65, and he said that he thinks if it was a different model, like if she was a skinnier, more traditionally Western style. He doesn't say Western style, but that is what he's describing, more like a Western style model. He doesn't think she would have had any problems. And
really, because she's a full-figured woman.
Yeah, basically.
That's ridiculous.
And that's his theory, and he might very much be right, especially since, like you said, I don't think they would have made a big deal about this. From what I can tell, there was no debris left behind. She wasn't actually moving on any of the archaeological sites, and she wasn't interfering with the digs. Yeah. So she was, even if she wasn't allowed to be there, she was just standing in front of it and got a picture taken.
It's ridiculous. She's a beautiful woman in taking some photo. Here it is. Mr. T just sent me the group in the chat the link to her Instagram. So I want to pull this up real quick so that we can take a look at it for ourselves, because there are other photos in this thing, and I just think it's I don't see the problem. I really don't see the problem. It's funny because what you just said a second ago, it's like if she was like, I'm trying to think of like one of the top models right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know any models' names, but imagine if she was some big name. Would she get in trouble for this? You know, would she be getting thrown under the bus for doing something that she, I feel like, did no wrong? I'm sorry, guys. This thing is still up. There we go. It's uploading finally.
Alex said something that I have an answer for. Yeah, he says that he thinks they're trying to, or she might be trying to portray the Queen of Sheba. She went under, for the shoot, she referred to herself as Queen Malban-titi, and Malban is just a sweet Turkish treat. So she was naming herself after candy, basically. But, you know, it mimics the name of Nefertiti. But I don't think that, I'm not sure that had anything to do with it, since she was using an entirely made-up candy-based name. So, you know, it's like a model's name. It's not really a historical name. Though I guess it could have made people angry. I don't know for sure how they view that.
Yeah. Okay. So, unfortunately, I can't log in here, but we can see the photos from, like, here. So we're just going to take a look real quick. I really don't see, I mean, even if she did refer to herself as a candy, still doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I think that these photos are just fine. I feel like the photos themselves, forget her naming who she's naming herself as, they seem like they're tasteful photos to me. You know what I'm saying? A beautiful woman taking some photos in, you know, by the pyramids. Oh, there's more down here too. You know, it's like there's this one here too. You know, I don't see a problem with her doing what she needs to do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, and her costume is fairly, I mean, it's not accurate, but it's close enough that it's not something that you would be offended over.
I mean, yeah, it's a modernized version of, you know, I mean, it's just honestly, it's a cocktail dress with some added stuff. You know what I mean? Some added things to give it off that Egyptian vibe. But I mean, I don't see anything wrong with her taking those photos. I feel like I've seen worse you know, shot in front of pyramids. I feel like I've seen worse. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've seen much worse, but I don't have anything to base it on. You know, I just feel like I've seen photos like Victoria's Secret models taking photos like that, except they're scantily clad. You know what I'm saying? They're not in a cocktail dress. They're in lingerie. You know what I mean? Butt cheeks out and everything. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see, I really don't see the problem with her photos. And I feel like they shouldn't be throwing her under the bus for taking some photos. And, you know, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? It doesn't mean like, you know, just because if they don't think that she's pretty or something like that, or that she doesn't fit their standards of beauty, does not mean that they should be throwing the book at her like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she was doing anything pornographic. It wasn't like she was doing anything disrespectful. She took some photos and she named herself after a candy. I don't see the big deal. Like I said, I've seen worse. I've seen much worse.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.